You know, it is a thin line between the two, but it's customary in art, and this is just an example. It's customary in our temple that a lot of times we get up and recite nationality cards. It might not be the customs in others. So I'm just putting that out there just to say that you can determine. It's not a law that you have to get up and recite, but it's customary that we do it here. Islam.
I just want to read something because the brother made a point. So I want to read where you drawing from. I'll start on 50. Brothers, don't mark your fez. It shows you are free. Be the truth like your prophet. The fez is the infinite hairdresser of the African God-man. Neither he nor it can be limited. Enslaved or bound. Marking the fez makes it finite, territorial, and binding. Sisters, this is the next one. Sisters, wrap your turbans in the colors of the rainbow. Turbans can be any color found in the rainbow. Sisters should not wear black turbans because because she is the giver of life. So, drawing on what you just said, because I got it. Somebody named the colors of the rainbow.
Red, that's right.
No, I'm like, sisters, man, what's wrong?
Starting with the base for the chakra, you said there's 7 colors identified.
Exactly.
And it's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, or blue black, blue black, purple, and then violet. And then white would be the final spectrum for the high stuff, or the high material.
So I mean, you just named.
There was actually 8.
So, you said white.
I used white. I said white, but I take it like that.
Yeah, exactly. White is not a color in the rainbow. Go ahead.
I had a question about that because the rainbow it's just the sunlight reflecting off of the water crystals, which is when they break it down as it being white. Like the whole spectrum is a white light that causes all the other reflection colors.
Okay, but you said something. Think about what you just said. It's the white light is in the rainbow. The rainbow itself is the breakdown of the colors, not the white light. So you said something. And go ahead. What you have to say? He refused what you said.
Can you have the rainbow without the white?
That's very technical.
Go ahead, be technical.
You said the light reflects off of the water and the air. It doesn't reflect off. It diffracts because the water is clear, so it goes through and it separates.
Okay.
So basically, what we're talking about is just like we are. We are of the Most High, but we're separated individuals of that spectrum. So that the light is broken down into the 7 spectrums, and 7 spectrums is what's represented by the rainbow. So when you wear white, you're wearing all of the colors. Like that.
Oh, Islam, I apologize. Islam.
Going back to the prophet's oral statement and camelbacking on what Jamal Neal was saying. Yeah, they're oral statements. When you say things like, they're not law, right? And we say things like, we kind of got to look because somebody else said, the prophet said, and things of that nature. We even do that with the hadith of Prophet Muhammad. Now, we don't take the hadith of Prophet Muhammad as law, right? We take the Holy Quran back as law. And if somebody says the Prophet Muhammad said this, we're like, okay, Islam, and if it fits with the Holy Quran of Mecca, we with it. But if somebody says the Prophet Muhammad says this, and it don't fit with the Holy Quran of Mecca, I'm cool because it tells us that the Quran wasn't sufficient for us. So, but at the same time, though, the Prophet said, every word I spoke is spirit. You Moors better take heed. So, if this was a brother or a sister that was in the time of the Prophet, and what they're saying is in accord with what I'm reading, in the Holy Quran Quran of Mecca, in the Holy Quran of the Moorish Temple of America, and in the laws, I'm going to take it as such. If it's out of that, then I'm going to have to say, okay, well, now I got to use my sense of reason and say, what was this more and more by its meaning? But to say that if the prophet said it, then one can say, no, you can't do it. I can't agree with it. I can't agree with if the prophet said, like, okay, the sisters could wear, the colors of the rainbow, right? And then one comes up with a custom, right, of the temple, because, again, the colors of the rainbow, we know sisters can wear. If the temple says, okay, and here only wear red turban, and the sister says, well, I want to wear a green turban today, or I want to wear a yellow turban today, right? How can that be enforced as law? Can't be. Simply because, yes, somebody said the prophet said it, but it wasn't just somebody that said it. One's wrote the prophet, what you just wrote, what you just read, okay? So, my thing is, Moses saying it's a fine line, and it is, because a Moses can say that about anything, and you can pick and choose what you want to use now. You draw what I'm saying? And a Moses can say, well, yeah, someone said the prophet said it, but I'm not doing that just because that don't fit whatever I'm on. You draw? For me, as a Moor, if I read something that, one says the prophet said or something like that, you draw what I'm saying, and it's Islam, and it's all Islam, I'm going to tend to go with that. You draw what I'm saying? Then go against that. You draw? Now, I understand where one can make a law, and I get where one can say, okay, when we come in the temple, we want sisters, or we want everybody in red turbans. Okay. Now, that law can be enforced because the grand sheik can make laws in his temple. When I leave outside of this temple, though, you can't now tell me I can only wear a red turban outside of the temple. Because you can't make laws for me to demonstrate presence in the earth. But you can make laws, as it says here, in the temple that are in accord with the prophet. It would be different if he said everybody wear black turbans. Now that's not in accord with what the prophet demonstrated. You draw what I'm saying? But as long as what he's saying is in accord, or she, for that matter, she is, don't get it wrong, now she could have temple too. As long as it's in accord inside the temple, like for instance here, we stand, as temple guards when the law is read. Everywhere don't do that. That's a custom. But if I was to sit down, that don't mean the grand sheik can say, Mo, you have to stand up. Why? Where the prophet say that? Where's that? You draw what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, but if at the same time, if the Moor then said, okay, I'm putting into writing, all temple guards have to stand at these times. It's the law now, in this temple, and you have to follow, because he's the grand chief.
All right, that's why I'm gonna just go back to the original demonstration. The colors of the rainbow, write this down so there won't be no confusion. Come on.
No, just
hold up. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Purple was not one of them. Violet and some people think violet and purple are the same, but they're not. It's violet. So those are the colors of the rainbow. Outside of the temple, as of right now, I haven't wrote it down, so it's not like law. But we tell all the sisters that should be your first demonstration. As you see, that's the first color that's given. And it's really in degrees, because as we know, violet is next to purple, and we know purple was worn by, not necessarily just royalty, according to the prophet Noble Jew, I think purple is for the magistrates. It's not just for everybody. See, that's the whole thing. It's a color demonstration. Like, when we went back, to the old man, you couldn't wear turquoise by punishment of death, because that belonged to the emperor only. So the prophet put that out there like that as far as purple. So those are the 7 colors that you can wear on your turban. Now, Brother Ambassador.
All right, it's California, right? You had times where people come out here to California. This is how this stuff come about. People come to California thinking that they was from Chicago, from Toughtown, and was going to do whatever they felt like they was going to do while they was here. And ones was telling them, listen, when you leave out of here, you need to take that red turban off. And you need to take that blue one off wherever they was at. You need to watch how you walk around here. And ones wasn't getting the picture. Then you have certain things that happen because ones was going out thinking that they can walk around anywhere at those times, just doing anything. So you have to allow certain customs to tell certain people in the temple, it's only, we need to do this around here. You understand? So it's like, that's where you have to start thinking, you know, in degrees of certain thought, because everything comes in more than different degrees. So, not to go to another town or another temple and be like, y'all doing what, man, please? You understand what I'm saying? Because you're not from there. You go outside, they might, you know what I'm saying, you might put yourself in danger not listening to the custom of what was going on there. You understand what I'm saying? And this happens a lot. Another time we went to Chicago. Another more, in Chicago, they say, peace, what's key 20? This how they gangbang out there. They ask you about the science. They gangbang. They say, peace, key 20. And they stand on the corner. They're like, yo, key 20. Right? And you know, you say key 20 and ask them something, what's key 21? They ain't gonna know that. But I'm saying, ask them back. But if you don't know this custom, then, and you just get back at them, you know, so we had a youngster, he got put in the hospital during convention. Because he got the Moorish t-shirt on, he just going to the store. But they gangbang with that out there. And nobody tell him when he go to the store what you need to tell him. This is custom. This is major because the mole like 15 got put in the hospital. He got jumped. You understand what I'm saying? So it's serious when it's not just, you know what I'm saying? And at the same time, another thing is, this is also serious too. The prophet said that every word I speak is spirit. Man, a trader who traded on the backside of the prophet is the one who made that quote. So watch this type of stuff when you making these quotes. Who are these people that's making these quotes, and what was their relationship to prophet with Ali? While he's saying that quote, and then he's backstabbing the prophet at the same time, and now he's the one that we get the information from.
This came to me. This is why we have to know thyself, study to know thyself, show thyself approved. And then I'm thinking, it's just coming to me just as in, when you're someplace else, or when you go someplace else, identify with what the culture is and demonstrate that culture for your safety, or for even the admonishment, I should say, the edification of the people that are around you. And then, if there is a law for a custom will only become law when it's written. So once it's written by somebody, and then this is the purpose of finding or making sure that your grand sheik is somebody that is following all the customs of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Because if he's not that type of person, you need to be the grand sheik. Because if he is a grand sheik and he's carrying that, when he makes a law, you can trust in that person is going to be conscientious of all thereof. That's what I'm just saying. It's just saying. It's law.
One more. Okay, we get off a plane. We're taking a trip. Right? We going to, I don't know the name of the place. A Muslim place, man. One of them places.
Philadelphia.
No, outside the country. Turkey. We leaving outside the plane.
Dubai.
We going to Turkey. Or Dubai. And we're Muslim people. Not just in American clothes. They already know who you are. You get off with American clothes like, oh, whatever. And they're going to play with you on that accord. But you get off with your Islamic stuff on. Now they coming over to you. Now you represent the people and you represent the culture. Now they come in, okay, why do you wear red? Right? Because according to all the rest of the Islamic community, it means something when you wear that. So now you just left your hometown and we all going out thinking we gonna eat. And you got a specific sign that says something to these people over there. You got a white one on and you walking around. Only the imams or the leaders in their specific countries and sects wear a white one. So you just walking on the street with one, and then women don't wear one. Certain things don't go on. So if you don't know these different customs, and you just getting off the plane, I'm away from the Moors. You know what I'm saying? Y'all going on everything. You know what I'm saying? You know what I want to do. And now you over here, and then these ones come up and they start pressing you. I'm telling you, they're going to press. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's different. It's certain stuff that you got on that mean a lot. It's not just Hollywood, American gumbo culture, where you can just say, oh, today I'm going to put an Indian weave on. I'm going to put on some moccasins or some big old fur boots with some Daisy Dukes on and just mix up everything with the Chinese earrings on and the Chinese hat. All that, no. You gotta, what you are, you gotta be that when you leave here. And
and my question is like, okay, you have the divine constitution and bylaws. You have the laws the prophet said and the Holy Quran met those laws. Those are laws that set up all Muslims, right? Islam. And then you have the our demonstration in class today about the Grand Sheik making laws as one. Now, acting out as one. What's the consequence of that law? Are the consequences different from breaking the laws that's in the Holy Quran Mecca, or the laws that's right here? Are those consequences the same, or what are those consequences, and are they equal or equivalent to the consequences of not wearing a turban when you was told to do or not standing up when the Most said you guard stand up? Like, what are those consequences? And is it possible for a mole to be banned from a temple because he doesn't abide by temple rules?
Honestly, like I said this before, the only person I ever heard of, have no record, ever heard of being banned from a temple is a homosexual who wouldn't change his ways. That's the only time I ever heard of a person just being banned from a temple. Have you heard of any other time? I don't. You? Okay, I'm trying to make sure. I've never heard of anybody able to ban somebody from a temple for any demonstration. They've been suspended from doing certain demonstrations, certain activities, but from the temple, no, you can't do that. And as far as like your other, are you answering your question? Or you got another question?
Yeah, somewhat, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Wouldn't that come in where we talked about our judicial system and judging, like the law, like for instance, if I stole a piece of Starburst from the store, right? It's not going to be as bad as if I went and shot down my brother, the consequence. So that would come in with the judicial system that we have set here on breaking the law. Correct?
And also my question was,
go ahead, because we answered your question.
Yeah, it's long. And the fact that those colors that are in the chakra that you named as being red.
Where they come from?
Right, it's long. I know. It's long. So praise the Lord. So colors plural, which means that the sheik has the power to limit the other colors, because the prophet said colors. Like we said, more than a he's more. You know what I'm saying? That draw, we got to demonstrate that. That's the whole draw right there. Like what? I'm confused now. But the fact that the mode did say colors meant plural, means more than one. So to limit, a sister from where it doesn't even affect me more. I can only wear red. I'm not trying to be so. The fact that he said colors and it was plural means that it's plural, more than one. It's no true. So is it possible for a sheik to say you cannot?
A sheik? No.
In the temple. Now.
Grand sheik? Yes. I'm going to read you something. Jurisdiction enforced by virtue of whose authority it exists while acting in conformity with the laws, rules, and regulations of the home temple, and said, because I see y'all might not be able to see it over here. And the said subordinate temple aforesaid being duly and lawfully organized, constituted, and established is hereby authorized and empowered to initiate and confer degrees. So you say you know about the 7 colors, right? 8 degrees. And you, okay. And you read. So, what is the first degree of what is the first color that was named? It's red. So, that red turban is a degree. It's a status. That's why I can personally, like I told the sister Alan Bay, you president of the Sisters Auxiliary. That's why you see her in green, everybody else in red. Because it's a station. You have a certain station. So it's a degree. It's not like I'm just saying what I want to. They come in degrees. It's like martial arts. You got different belts. With us, we have colors. And as we know from the brothers, a lot of brothers wear the red because of security. But yeah, that's the only reason why. It's all, like I said, all going according to the law. Those are considered degrees. So that's why, like she said, the white G she said the white, because that was a good question. The white light, and you answered it with a good demonstration. The white light represents all the colors. That's why the sheep were white. It represents all the colors. All of the above. But different degrees and different levels have a different purpose. You know, so, I mean, if that can actually...
Islam, it helps me understand the law and the demonstration, but it doesn't help me prove that that's in law to make that law.
Well, this is demonstration. This is what this is the catch. It says, where is it at? Rules and regulations of the home temple and testimony of the temple. For it says being duly lawfully organized and constituted. So the Constitution, you're not really able to, okay, the Constitution is according to this. Because this is what chartered out everything. This is what gave you the ability to actually hand out Constitution. You understand what I'm saying? Like you either got one of these, or you got a warrant of authority for one who has one of these, or a letter of authority where you can actually hand out a Constitution. So if you're going to enforce the law on the Constitution, you're getting it from the charter. That's why it says at the very top, to all whom these presents may come, greetings, the home office, by virtue of the authority vested in the most holy prophet, noble Jew Ali, the Moorish Temple of America, by lawfully granted charter of the state of Illinois, have granted this. So once you're granted the demonstration, you're able to demonstrate and pass out certain stuff. That's law. You know, so the Grand Chief, once he gives you that Constitution, he got to go according to this. He has to. That's what we talking about as far as conferring degrees. We can actually issue out degrees. Why you hear me saying oftentimes out of Moorish Temple American University in the school or whatever, because we can confer degrees. Those turbans, those colors are different degrees. But I can't tell you to wear a black one. I don't care who I am. I can't tell you to wear a Russ turban. See, that's the limitation that you're talking about as far as what the Bible said, colors of the rainbow. That's the limitation. I can't tell no one I'm going to confer a degree on you and give you a beige turban. Can't do it. It can only be according to the structure of the rainbow. Islam.
Is there any specific way that a monk has to or cannot wear his turban?
Explain what you mean by that.
The monk turban is in rap.
Oh, you mean like that? No, Mo. That's your vibration. You got more to a tie turban in the back, like as long as it make a V, the tie turban in the back. You got more to say that turban open. You got more to do it like that, like that. You got the Bobo roster turban. Mo, you got turbans. You got turbans, and I mean, as long as you, like the prophet said, you got that V. We can't really. That's your vibration. I mean, I remember when I first wrapped the turban. The mo who wrapped my turban first, he was like, you gotta learn how to wrap your turban so you can get your own vibration. That really shows your vibration. So I've never heard of that. I'm just being me personally, I've never heard of that. I mean, other Moors, anybody, Islam?
Islam is okay, so Moors can wrap their turban in different manners. However, there is a Moorish way to wrap the turban. Like correctly, the Moorish way. Yeah, the standard of how the Moors wrap their turban.
Yeah,
there's
the
a couple of
and everything.
So, you know, you can.
Oh, is that what you mean? Excuse me, I didn't know. Is that what you mean, like the length or anything? You just talking about the way?
I know the demo. I'm just saying, like, however, I feel like, because it is ether. When I put it on, I be feeling a different way. It's not. So, just to, like, is there a way you be like, this man came in here looking like this? Like, is that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not typical to Moorish. I mean, so is that out of law? Or, you know, I just basically want to know the difference between etiquette and law, being that there's a lot of temple laws that are really, by my understanding, just etiquette law. Like here, when we do the door thing, or, you know, like, that's all just law. But to say, like, I'm really feeling that, it's just, I don't really feel the etiquette of, like, and then it's just considered disrespectful, not necessarily punishable, is my question. Because then nobody wants to disrespect them.
I said custom is not actually, it's not punishable. Custom.
So it's not punishable to, if a sister did decide to wear a yellow
turban. No, so I put it into the actual writing. No, it's not punishable. If I was to put it in the writing,
What does putting it in writing do?
makes it law. Makes it law. Sister, it's on your hand.
So
It's long.
last part of
Go ahead. You got last part?
Yeah, being that Act 1 says that, you know, to assist the grand vice. So does the actual members come into play with creating the law, enforcing the law, and the whole scheme of doing it?
The members are not the grand body.
So
We
the
have
members
a
are not
council.
even mentioned here
In Act 1? Yes, the last part. Must be known before the members of the Moorish Temple of America.
They put into part.
And that's what I mean. Like, if you don't know it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't know the demonstration, then how can you be even talked to about it? But if you know it, then, yeah. Islam, sister.
That was part of my question. So this is the new members coming in on how to wrap your turban, all the etiquette that goes with what's been stated today.
It's wrong. Praise Allah, understood Prophet Noble Ali. We do have a etiquette book for Moorish Americans. Okay, so and we discussed this in Sisters Auxiliary, and I don't know if the sister discussed it. I'm sure she probably does in the Young People's Moorish League, but we do have an etiquette guide. And to camelback on Brother Johnson's questions on the penalty. It's not a law, it's a custom, but if you're asked to do something, it shows that either you're obedient to instruction or you're insubordination to what's being asked of you. So that demonstration there would tell whether you can hold a position of authority or can you follow instruction, you know, and it just shows what your character is. You know, is it just because you don't want to do it? You know, you want to be the one that don't, you know, obey? And that way, those penalties are probably unsaid, but you won't be called to demonstrate on another measure because you can't follow a simple instruction on wearing a red turban or wrapping your turban a certain way.
Islam, hearsay, I've heard that other grand chiefs has done demonstrations. Okay, so it's that there's a line between what you can and can't do, even on that level. Like, okay, for example, Islam, it's just wear turbans, just follow instructions. Now it's bring me shirt. How about that? Islam.
That's how.
So then it's like, hold on.
He's telling the truth.
What's the draw? So that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Go ahead. Like right before you came, we was going over with the question, like know how we went over executives and all that other stuff. So like when it comes to like leveling and food check too, checking the balance and everything like that. When you talk about like right before you came, like you know what I'm saying. So like in Act 1 where it's like grand chief and sheriff and more classes related. Like we were talking about how that's exactly it. Like you know what I'm saying. At the end, the people still gonna have to work. You know what I'm saying? We'll still doing that. From
no, I mean this is the problem. That's why it's real because that's exactly how America's ran. I understand that the whole demonstration and how we governing ourselves because we are party partial. I get that, but what I'm saying is whatever the sheep deems law is just like that. That's a fine measure because whoever's agreeing is like this the measure, and if the sheep says cool and the rest of it, everybody then I'm like, whoa. Just like right now, like I don't know if that should be considered law to do that. And everybody else is fine with it. It's like, okay, I get washed out. But what if that's a different measure that's complete, that does affect the ethers, that is wrong or out of law, and everybody.
I'm tell you what, so everybody can know what we're talking about. We know back in the day, there was a temple here. They called themselves a temple, and everybody in there smoked drugs. Like inside the temple, that was a temple ritual.
Not here in this
temple, but I'm talking about like in Los Angeles, California. So people who knew the Moorish Temple of America, they even started their own temple, to be honest. They just did it out of, they didn't have no approval, nothing. They just started their own demonstration, and you get the questionnaire right. They ask you, who made you? You say Allah, you get a chance to hit it. I'm just being honest. This is what they did. So this is what he's saying, and what he's saying is that leader of that temple made that like law. It's crazy. And the assistant grand chief was right along with them doing that. That was the way their temple was set up. So, is that, I mean, literally, we all know that's not according to the law at all whatsoever. So we understand exactly what you're saying. Yeah, that's kind of, but I just have to let y'all know what he's talking about.
I understand that. this is just a demonstration. I just have to say this. If anything like that were to ever go down in any circumstance, you have laws and you have supreme laws and you have state and county and local laws or whatever, and drugs and things like that, or anything where a person would be harmed or unnatural. In other words, there's always a boss to a boss to a boss. There's always somebody over the sheet, somebody if it gets like that. So there's never going to be a time, and pray, you thanks to Allah that we have sensibility here, consciousness, and we're following the rules. But that's the thing. But so you keep in mind what you're saying, Mo. It's like if we should ever come to, that's why we have to come to meetings. I'm seeing the importance of being on time, being at the meetings, doing your studies, and then engaging and communicating and inciting one another to find works, because every Mo in here has a special gift of some kind that Allah gave us. And so the Prophet demonstrated that in all full measure. And so now we have an opportunity to take from that and then expand on it. If we continue to do that and build, then all that other stuff where we have a question and we're doubting, we're going to not have that, because the fulfillment of all the 5 principles are going to be there. And if you have love, love covers a multitude of a whole lot more stuff. So if you carry that within your own being and your ethers are, like we say, the ethers were right, then you're going to know when a Mo starts talking to you and it's like off the balance. You know you can go check it with a sister, go check it with a brother, whoever, and then bring it to a council if it got to be like that.
And we do have one.
I feel like that's what we should, how we can handle that if that were to be. As far as the sisters having a turban, you know, it's like being obedient unto the order of the law. If a shika says, okay, this is what the law is because, you know, the grand sheik has written it down, then in harmony with love and fine works, if it's not going to be a problem, I could do that. But if it seems to be where the person is being dominating or they're being disrespectful or they're being tyrannical, and that's the same measure we would use with the Sikh, with the Grand Sikh, if he's doing something that's not operationally as well. That's how I'm just vibing on it.
Okay, since we are able to do all this on our own, right? Since we have laws and we have protocols, and we have, Grand Chief, Grand Body, Chairman, according to Article 1, Section 1 of the United States Constitution, it says, all legislative powers herein granted shall be vested in a Congress of the United States, which shall consist of a Senate and House of Representatives. So, does this, because we are able to do this amongst ourselves, does this make us citizens of the U.S.?
Of course.
And also, which member of the Moorish Temple of America, nationwide or statewide, should be a part of the United States government as far as the representatives? Like it says, all legislative powers herein granted shall be vested in a Congress of the United States, which shall consist of a Senate and a House of Representatives. So, should the Moors or the Moorish Americans be represented in any kind of way in Congress?
Yes. Yes. Prophet Noble Jarvis, like the Mo was talking about before, helped put our Decree back in the office after they ran us out of the office. So, yeah, of course. All right. For the J Cocktail, then we got to close it up. In your hand.
Islam, Moors. Going back to the service, there's a reason why we wear our service right over left. You know what I'm saying? Just like there's a reason why we cross our hands right over left. So we deal with spiritual demonstration and we deal with energy and vibrations. So we understand that it demonstrates in the Quran, those are your right hand. When we say Islam, we demonstrate with our right hand, never our left. That's why we matter. Don't ever do that, by the way. Don't ever. It's like you're in a car, you're driving, and you can't, and don't. my warrior, my demonstration, it messes me up, right?
The veil?
Talking about when I had to jump hanging down on the back, you know what I'm saying? Tail, whatever you want to call it. It's not for a male because we deal with energy and vibration. It's not supposed to go down until you're past your waist. It's not even supposed to go down there because we know as males that's where most of our negative demonstration comes from. As a woman, it's different. It don't matter. She gets birth from down there, so it's a whole nother matter. Like, we deal with energy, so when it comes to, like, is there a way to wrap a turban? Yeah, a sister should be shown how to correctly wrap a turban.
So you telling me a sister can wear one of those demonstrations hanging down?
Yes.
You can't wear... What you...
Yeah, explain that. I didn't hear this one.
Explain that, Mom. Can she wear a turban hanging down? Why you say that?
Because that is the warrior demonstration in itself. Why we even do that is behind the war.
So, Islam, so we didn't have women warriors? We didn't have we didn't have queens that was warrior queens? So they couldn't wear their demonstration because Islam, again, it's about vibration. It's a warrior demonstration. I understand your draw. However, a woman doesn't have, it's not the same as a man as far as negative vibrations down here. Most women don't live down there. That's why they say think with the other one there. You know what I'm saying? Most of us, we demonstrate down there. So the lower self is literally on your body. I'm going to say this and I'm going to shut up. So is the higher self. The lower self is from your navel down. You don't believe it? When you get mad and angry and distraught and all these other things, it don't come in your heart. It comes from somewhere else. And then it raises up. Now you get all hot and bothered and all of that or other stuff. Right? Your higher self is up here, where all the pure things are at. You know what I'm saying? This is why your head is up here and it's not on your feet. You draw? When we look at our body, we spread our hands out, it spells Allah on purpose. You draw what I'm saying? So, you know, we just energy, vibration. You draw?
Because we gotta go
Because
ahead.
you let me know one day that I could have demonstrated like that, so I'm like, I need it, because first I knew that I can, women was able to wear their as long as they want, then I got told that, you know, women shouldn't, but we can't, not even shouldn't, so I don't know, like, you know, if it's warrior, I'm a warrior, so I don't see nothing wrong with it.
What you say, Mom?
Y'all gotta watch that Warrior Queen stuff. All them women, they got their names in the cartouches kicked off. They was trying to be dykes and all that other weird stuff. And every one of them Empress Kings in Africa, when the next one came out, he erased everything that she was about because of what they tried to push when they was up here, trying to put on chins, gold tees, and all that other type of stuff. Man, fire burn that. Watch that attitude. Now you can just be, you know, be somebody that's out for the fight. Okay.
Yeah, but not in that bedroom. Not also, you know, like women and muscle men.
Most women around the world don't wear turbans. So when this field stuff start coming out of your head, don't just start doing stuff for certain styles sometimes. That's why we're talking about the Dumbo Islam. When you're doing something, figure out what it means. What you wearing? Why are you wearing that? Did anybody on the temples, did any women on any temples have anything hanging down like that from their head? Or did they not? You know what I'm saying? Follow your ancestors. Follow the sisters on the picture with the prophet. What was they wearing? What was they demonstrating? Islam?
So, but other than
I'm going to ask you a question. Go ahead.
Islam. In my research, and because I've been asked a lot of questions, and I have questions for myself, so when we're talking about turbans and things like that, like, if you even look at the pictures of the sisters next to the prophet, half of them didn't even wear turbans.
What did they wear?
They had, like, hat things on.
Crown.
And,
Yes. Exactly. Yes.
well, not all of them had those on.
What
So, because I've seen some with
some of the tiaras?
No, I'm talking about, I can't really tell if it's a black and white picture or if it's like a hat, but I know it's not a turban because it's no cross, and then they have this big old button, but it's not the crescent piece. And then another one, right, and then so if we're looking like in our ancient sisters' cultures and things like that, when I've looked up, you know, ancient customs and traditions, some sisters did have veils, but it wasn't for like the warrior style. It was for, because they had sandstorms and things like this, so they went promote their demonstration. So I mean, like I never heard of it being law that we couldn't wear the veils because we were sisters. So I thought we were always allotted to have a veil to cover our demonstration at. So
it's not hanging, it's over your face.
Exactly.
But some of the pictures,
You're going to cover over your face. Don't have it hanging down your back.
But if you're in a speaking demonstration, wouldn't you like, okay, but then when you go out.
When they speak with a veil on, right?
They just speak.
They speak right through the veil. And so I'm going to answer the question. Like I told you, no. No, because literally, you can't find no sister during the time of the Prophet Noble Jew Ali, and in history, if you bring it to me, then I'll change my mind. In history, that war, besides, like you said, the warrior sisters who were actually at war.
Really?
Just that, who was actually at war. You have never seen a sister wear a turban with the hanging demonstration. One of the old sheiks told me this. Your hanging turban is like a tie. It's equivalent to a tie in ancient culture. Women don't wear ties, do they? Perfect example. Just like, alright, on this picture, you see hair hanging from the front of their demonstration. You also see it permed. Alright? You ain't never had sisters wear turbans with their hair shown. That defeats the purpose of the turban. Right or wrong? That defeats the purpose of the turban. You've never had that. That's the whole purpose of having the turban on.
Right.
So it's not a style demonstration. It's a religious, sacred demonstration. And like the answer to the question, yes, supposedly orientation, and this is a part of orientation. This happens to come up in here. So that's why I ain't never said nothing. You ain't no sister ever said nothing to you because, like you said, you knew. And you will get it when you get it. And after we talk about it, you know, and then you just, I'm doing this. It's not different. But we haven't talked about it, so you haven't been addressed. You ain't got nothing to worry about. You good. But yeah, you've never seen what you see a lot of more, like the most saying, just doing it for style.
Yeah.
Nah, it's not like that. It's like the brother saying, the turban has to be wrapped. It has to be wrapped a certain way. As far as I said, your V, and I should have said your V should be right over left. Excuse me for not saying that. But other than that, when you 12 inches by 12 feet, you know. Yeah, you got the 12 by 7.
7 by 7.
Yeah, because that's one I got from convention. 7 by 7. You know, and each one have their own purpose as well. But as far as like you literally wrapping it, you know, it got to be so many folds, or you know, got to go around your head so many amount of times. You know, you ain't got to do all that, man. You know, that's just show demonstration. But the whole purpose of the turban was to actually cover your head. You know, and so that's that. Supposed to be finished, but you got 2 hands. I'm gonna let you go, then I'm gonna let you go. We got close.
Islam.
Islam.
Question in regards to the turban and having your hair out. In chapter 21, verse 7, it says, "She is clothed with meekness, she is fed with temperance. Humility and meekness are as a crown of glory circling her head." So, if I have my crown covered, is that not considered? Because if we're going to say that thou art clothed in purple, and then we can't wear purple, but so can that be considered as the demonstration, my crown being covered, because I'm following the law because my crown is still covered?
Right.
Like it says, the crown of glory. You know. So what I'm saying is that because one say that we can't wear purple because it says that he's clothed in purple in that chapter, right? And so, right, the purple turban. You with me? Okay. So what I'm saying is like, because my understanding has always been that, I've always referenced to, okay, well, what does the prophet talk about sisters covering her head? So for me, it's been chapter 21, where it says humility and meekness are as a crown of glory circling her head. So I have that going on for me. You know, so that's all I'm saying. Yeah. My head being covered and my crown being covered.
No.
How is it covered?
Because this right here, because I actually researched it, and I'm going according to what's out there for science. So if according to what's out there for science, the crown of your head is not the top.
There's no like getting around.
So I'm just questioning, because I'm just saying, like, I'm just trying to get my own understanding on, you know, I'm not trying to, like, you know, I'm trying to really understand what's being said, you know, because I don't want to come in out of law. You know what I'm saying? Because I got my hair out and a tail. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to find out what's going on.
He the only one going to speak next, but I got a answer her question. Your crown and somebody else's crown might be two different crowns, right? You got different kings, and all of them might have different crowns on, but they all have crowns, depending on their custom and their culture. As we were talking about, the whole reason for wearing the one cloth that you see, I give it back to you, on the Sisters Auxiliary demonstration, all the sisters have at least a cloth or something over their demonstration, is to cover their head. She got one though, so you know what I'm talking about. But you can pass it around to other sisters so they might see what I'm talking about. I had to think about it, but she got one, so y'all can look at it. Y'all can look at that. And in the back, it really shows what the prophet's wife looked like. I used to have a picture in here. But as like the brother said, as far as the turban covering the head, men can do it like that. Women are not supposed to, because the whole purpose is to cover their head. Because the most popular men are saying the same. So go ahead.
You know, it's not modesty if you're showing, according to Islam, if you're showing your hair, if you're showing certain shades of your skin and certain things like that, that's attractive to other men. It's not modest. And the crown of glory circling your head, if you according to Islam and Moorish science, if you are only carrying the bottom circle, then you're only tending to your bottom nature. That's why you have the top circle and you have the bottom circle. It's the same thing with the turban. You have the bottom circle and you have the top circle. You're covering the top is because you're covering your spirituality and recognizing there's nothing higher than you but the Creator. So you have that covered. You don't have that exposed unless you have your Creator exposed with your lower nature out. If you're just covering it with the bottom ring. That's what the two rings stand for. On the turban, on the fez, and on the turban. And the Moorish turban, they also have the pyramid right there in the middle because that's another sign of infinity. The circles represent infinity. That's why you're wrapping the demonstration up. And it's supposed to be as above, so below, not just below. Islam?
We're going to finish this. If y'all want to finish this after the meeting we close, we're going to close because we're going to read the warning, and we're going to close out. And then we want to continue the conversation. It's kind of Sunday school. We continue the conversation. Islam. Praise Allah.
Islamism. Praise Allah. Honors to our Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Listen up for the warning. October 17, 1928. A warning from the Prophet to be read in every meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must put an end to all radical and agitating speech while on their jobs, homes, or on the public street. We advocate peace and not destruction. Stop trying out your cards with the Europeans, for it causes confusion. There has been much confusion caused by members trying out their cards. The cards are for your salvation. Failure of obeying my orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members that seek to hold malicious feelings towards the temple or the prophet, or to violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors must obey the laws laid down to them by their prophet, and if they lose confidence in their prophet, give up your cart and button, cease wearing your turban or fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. For this is a holy and divine movement founded by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet is sending out a divine plea to all true Moorish Americans that they may do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. Peace, Noble Drew Ali.
Peace.
October 28, 1928. To be proclaimed in every meeting. Islam. I am glad to know that I have a few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There is a host of jealousy about me and the movement now by the same people on our side of the nation that claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as American citizens, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so that they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that attribute to the movement and the uplifting funds The ones that pay their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I am calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance, and I need it badly. Never before have I needed finance so badly as I do at present, so I can't shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my fame and nobility. The nations of the earth will not recognize the movement without I, the prophet, being head. It has been proven by my works which I have performed in the past few years. October 17, 1928, to the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Islam.
Islam.
This is the instruction from your prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Be faithful unto your forefathers' divine and national creed, that you will be blessed for your good deeds that you sow in the flesh. Allah is the one that judges the world, and his judgment is now on. But the weak can comprehend it not. The end of time is drawing near, so says Allah to his divine prophet, I, Noble Drew Ali. And that is why many hearts have been turned to stone, and many have eyes to see, but cannot see, ears to hear, but cannot hear, lest they will be confounded of their sins. These are the trying hours now, dear Moors, and every evil spirit is moving, and they are trying every weak mind to overthrow and drag out the true foundation that has been laid, and to cause confusion in the minds of the ones that do believe. But if you have the true love of Allah and the spirit of your forefathers, you fear not what you hear or see, but will sacrifice the utmost of your very life to protect your movement and your prophet. Watch your enemies, dear Moors. Your enemies are the ones that speak against your prophet and ridicule him to the very lowest, and the ones that speak against your divine and national principles of your temple. Act accordingly, and Allah will bless you for your good works. Peace, your divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali.
Peace.
Call for new Moors. Islam. Call for new members. Islam. Islam. Conditions on which you may join. The following call is made for new members after your laws have been read. If there is anyone among you that would like to link up with us, these are the conditions on which you may join. So says the prophet. After hearing the laws read, and you think that you can obey the law, you can come up and see the secretary as we take up the collection. The button is $5. Your identification card is $5. $5 for a dues card and $10 for 1 month's dues. This makes a total of $25. $10 dues all members pay for the upkeep of the movement. Now, if you think that the laws are too strenuous and that you could not obey them, it would be best if you kept your seats. If there is anyone who wishes to join and have not got the money with you and mean it in good faith, you may come up and see the secretary while the collection is being raised, and the secretary will put your name on the book. Be fair with yourself, and when you get the money, pay your obligation. The prophet said, all the names I find on the book and do what I tell them, those I will save. Islam?
Islam.
This Lord's the meeting. Islam.
I got it, girl. Islam, Moors.
Islam.
Y'all know what time it is. Step on up right here to the baskets that we discussed earlier. You never got any education like this before in your life. Go on in a minute. Get back to the prophet Noble Drew Ali. Let's get out this building. Let's get some land. Let's get a big old building. Everybody go buy your brick. Islam. But first put your money in a bucket so we can help somebody sink. We're going to need a hospital one day.
Islam.
Why do you think you got a sink collection? To pay Kaiser? You know what Kaiser is? But do your research. Attorney. Yeah.
Are there any announcements? Oh, and all the Qurans and Constitutions and questionnaires passed out. Please pass them back up. I'll purchase. It's up to you. But any announcements?